Yes, good morning, students. We have discussed in our previous lecture about the effect of temperature on the states of matter. How can we change the state of matter by increasing and decreasing the temperature? Now, the question is that can we change a solid into gaseous form directly? Yes, this is called sublimation. A change of state directly from solid to gas without changing into liquid state, that is called the sublimation. And direct change of gas into solid without changing into the liquid, that is called sublimation, that is also called deposition. Okay, this is the, you can underline this point and this one. A change of state directly from solid to gas, when a solid directly change into the gas without changing into the liquid state, then it is called sublimation. And similarly, when a gas directly change into the solid without changing into the liquid, this is called deposition, or this is also can be called as the sublimation. Look at this example. Here a funnel is taken, and in this case the in china dish is taken, and in china dish there is mixture of ammonium chloride and the salt. Both are white colored, they get mixed, and we have to separate this ammonium chloride from the salt. Then what will we do? We will keep it on the tripod stand and keep the china dish on the stand, and we invert a funnel on this stand in the inverted position, and then we plug a cotton in the stem of the funnel, and then we start heating. We will see that the ammonium chloride that will start changing into the gaseous form. Fumes will be seen in this funnel, and they will move upward, but they will not come out as it is plugged with the cotton. There is no space, no way to come out of this. Then stop burning. Then the ammonium chloride, that vapors that has been formed, they will stick to the surface of the this look at this, they will stick to the surface of this funnel. And then then take the funnel and then scratch the ammonium chloride that is get solidified on cooling, and then take it out. And in this way, that in the china dish there will be the salt and ammonium chloride we will collect from the funnel. So in this case we can say that in this case the ammonium chloride has changed directly from solid to the gaseous state. So this is called sublime substances. There are also many sublime substances. Just I have given the examples of naphthalene bowls that we use at homes for storing the woolen clothes. They will disappear by themselves, and they will directly change from solid to which state? They will directly change from solid to gaseous state. And similarly, anthracene, and that is the anthracene odonil we use as a fragrance for as a room freshener, or in the washroom we use this. That is also that will disappear with the time. It means that has been converted from solid to the directly into the gaseous state. So we can say that that is the sublime substance. Okay, now we have to discuss about the, that is the, what is the effect of the pressure. We have discussed earlier the effect of the temperature. Now we have to discuss about the effect of the pressure. How the pressure change that will affect? By increasing or by decreasing the pressure, we can also change the state of matter. Look here, that is the states of matter are due to the presence of the space between the particles. The particles that have large space, they are in the gaseous form. They have less space, they are in the liquid form. And that others that are in the in the having least space, they are in the solid form. So we can change the space between the particles by applying the pressure, so in this case we can say that by applying pressure we can also change the state of the matter. Look here, by by applying pressure, particles of the matter can be brought closer to each other. Here is a distance between the, look here is a distance between the particles of the matter. There is a space between the particles of matter. When we apply force, piston is applied, then the particles, they will come close, and when we apply more pressure, they will again more come close. It means that by applying pressure, by increasing pressure, by decreasing pressure, we can also change the state of the matter. So by applying pressure and reducing temperature, underline this, by applying pressure and reducing temperature, we can liquefy gases. Question is like, how can we liquefy the gases? By applying pressure and reducing temperature. Have you heard about the dry carbon dioxide? This dry carbon dioxide, it means dry ice, that is dry ice called. Solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. Why do we call it dry ice? Because it is not liquid form, it is directly from the gaseous to the solid state, and it is prepared by applying pressure. The pressure decrease of the pressure to 1 atmospheric without coming into the liquid state, and this is the reason why solid carbon dioxide is known as dry ice. Okay, dry ice is the solid carbon dioxide that can be formed by increasing pressure on the carbon dioxide gas and reducing the temperature. Here is another one more thing, this is very important, that is the interconversion of the 3 states of matter. How can we convert the 3 states of matter into each other? Just look here, solid getting converted into liquid, this is called fusion, and liquid getting converted into solid, this is called freezing or the solidification. Similarly, liquid getting converted into gas is called vaporization, and gases can be converted into liquid, that is called condensation. Conversion of solid into gas directly, that is called sublimation, and gas into the solid, that is called deposition, and that is also one type of sublimation. Okay, this is very important flow chart, you should know about this. This can come in the 3 marks question, you have to fill the blanks and the conditions above and below the arrow. Okay, I hope this must be clear to you. Now we will move to the next topic. Okay, our next topic is about the evaporation. Evaporation is very important phenomena. Evaporation means conversion of liquid into the vapors form at any temperature without the boiling point. Okay, without reaching to the boiling point or below its boiling point, that is called the evaporation. Okay, we know that the particles of matter are always moving and never at rest. No doubt, whether it is solid particles, gaseous particles, liquid particles, movement is there in the particles. Some are very slow and some are very fast. And in this case, we can see that there is a different amount of kinetic energy in the particles. Liquids have kinetic energy more than the solids, and the gases have the most kinetic energy. So, and these can get converted into the different states. And in this case, this phenomena of, underline this is the definition of evaporation, this phenomena of change of liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. Right? What is evaporation? Evaporation is the phenomena of changing of liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called the evaporation. Now the question is, what are the factors on which evaporation depends, with which evaporation can increase? Look here, it is an activity that you will take the water in a test tube and keep it near the window or near under a fan, and or you can take the water in the china dish and keep it near the window or in the fan. What will you observe? The water will evaporate from which surface? That is from the china dish, not from the easily from the test tube. And then it is also under the fan or with the help of the, if there is a moisture in the air, then under the fan it can be evaporated earlier. Okay, so we can say that there are the different conditions on which the evaporation depends. These are very important points, you have to note it down. What are the factors, how the rate of the evaporation can be increased? We can say that the evaporation is a surface phenomena. Evaporation is a surface phenomena, and it is, if the surface is more, then the rate of evaporation will be fast, and if the surface is less, then the rate of evaporation will be less. You can take the example from the daily life, that the clothes for drying up, when we spread the clothes for drying up, this increases their surface area, and this increases the surface area, and so that they will get dried up. Similarly, I have given you the example of the cup and saucer. Cup and saucer means the tea in the cup, that will not get easily cooled, but in the case of saucer it will be cooled because surface area of the saucer is more, so evaporation will be fast. Okay, now next is the, with increase of the temperature, increase. When the temperature will be high, evaporation will be fast because the kinetic energy will be increased, and if the temperature is less, then the evaporation will be less. So it has direct effect. Increase of the temperature increases the evaporation. Now humidity. What is humidity? It is the amount of water vapors present in the air. It is the definition of humidity. It is amount of water vapors present in the air, and if the air is having more amount of water vapors in it, then it will not absorb more water. So with the if there is more humidity, now underline this, amount of water in air is already high, then the rate of evaporation decreases. Okay, then if there is more humidity, as in rainy season, it is difficult for the clothes to get dried up because there is more humidity in the air, so evaporation decreases and the clothes take long time to get dried. Okay, next step is the next factor is the increase in the wind speed. It is observed that in the windy day, in the clothes get cooled easily, get dried easily. Otherwise, when the wind speed is less, then the this rate of evaporation will be less. So there are main four factors on which the evaporation depends. First one is the air surface area. With increase in the surface area, evaporation becomes fast. With increase in the temperature, evaporation becomes fast. With increase in the humidity, evaporation becomes slow, and with increase in the wind speed, the evaporation becomes very fast. Okay, these are the factors on which the evaporation depend. These are very, very important questions. You can get reasoning questions from this. Okay, why do we need to spread the clothes for getting them dried? To increase the surface area. With increase in the surface area, the evaporation will become fast. And why on a windy day the clothes gets dried up earlier? Because in a windy day the speed of wind is more, and then the clothes get dry faster, because with the wind speed the evaporation becomes fast. Why in the rainy days the clothes take more time to get dried up? Because in rainy days there is more amount of humidity in the air. More the humidity, lesser will be the evaporation. Okay, you can get these like questions from this reasoning questions. Okay, now we will move to the next topic, that is the how does evaporation cause coolingness? We said that evaporation causes coolingness. Evaporation causes coolingness. This is very, very important factor, because in an open vessel the liquids keep on evaporating. In a closed vessel it will not get evaporated. In an open vessel it will be evaporated, and the particles of the energy liquid that will absorb the energy from the surrounding to regain the energy lost. Okay, from an open vessel the evaporation is taking place. It means that the particles are taking energy from the surrounding, and when they are taking energy from the surrounding, then the temperature of the surrounding will become less. Okay, then we will say that, just underline this, how does evaporation causes coolingness? The particles of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding to regain the energy lost during the evaporation, and this absorption of energy from the surrounding make the surrounding cool, right? Now we will give the examples of this. How does we can say that the evaporation causes coolingness? There are many examples in your book. Just look at this. What happens when we pour some acetone? I have shown you this in the lecture. What happens when you pour some acetone on your palm? The particles gain energy from your palm and the surrounding and then evaporate, causing the palm to feel cold. We will feel cool because of this. You have also noticed that the people sprinkle water on the roof or on the open ground in cases of especially in summer, because the water will take the heat from the ground or from the roof to get evaporated, and this makes the surface cool, and we will get the cool air from that surface. And there are also some examples, that is just like, why should we wear cotton clothes in the summer? Cotton clothes are good absorber of the sweat. They are good absorber of the sweat. In summers we sweat a lot, and the cotton clothes, we prefer to wear the cotton clothes. These cotton clothes, they absorb the sweat, and these, because of this, the clothes get they get wet, and with the help of the with the help of the fan, with the help of the cooler, or with the help of the wind, the water that gets evaporated from the cloth, and this leads to the coolingness. Okay, look at this. During summer we perspire more, and because of the mechanism of our body which keep us cool, we know during evaporation the particles at the surface of the liquid gain energy from the surrounding, and the heat energy equal to the latent heat of vaporization is absorbed from the body. Cotton being a good absorber of water helps in absorbing the sweat and exposing it to atmosphere for easy evaporation. Okay, because cotton clothes, you can write in simple language that cotton clothes are good absorber of water or good absorber of sweat, and by absorbing the sweat from our body, the cotton clothes, they give us coolingness, because evaporation causes coolingness. Here is one more question, that why do we see water droplets on the outer surface? This is also very very important. Why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of glass container containing ice cold water? You have seen that when we pour ice cold water in the glass, the water from the outside, it will also become wet. Why? Because of this condensation. Let us took some ice cold water in the tumbler. Soon we will see water droplets on the outer surface of the tumbler. The water vapor present in the air on coming in contact with the cold glass of water loses energy, and they get converted into the liquid state, and they will again convert into the water droplets because of this. You can give the example of desert cooler. As in summer we use coolers, and we fill the coolers with the water. You have seen that we have the windows. In the windows of the cooler there are the pads, and when the cooler is on, the water from the pump that falls on the pads, and this leads to the cooling of the air, and this is because that get evaporated. Because of the wind speed of the air, the water gets evaporated, and this leads to the cool air. Okay, how does the water kept in the earthen pot? Because the matka become cool during the summer, because that is made up of the soil. There are the air holes, there are the holes between these soil particles. When we put water in the matka, that the walls of the matka, that will absorb water, and that water, they take heat from the water that is stored in the matka for getting evaporated, and this makes the water cool. And why does our palm feel cold when we put some acetone or petrol or perfume in it? Because it will evaporate from our palm heat, and it leads to the cooling of the palm. Why we are able to sip hot tea or milk faster from a saucer? Because saucer has more surface area as compared to cup, and this leads to the faster evaporation, and evaporation causes coolingness. And what type of clothes should we wear in the summer? Which type of? We should wear cotton clothes, because cotton clothes are good absorber of sweat, and this on sweating, when the cotton cloth will absorb the sweat, and this will lead to the evaporation, and then evaporation causes coolingness, right? Okay, this was all about the evaporation causes cooling effect. These are very very important points. Okay, now just introduction of the fourth and fifth state of matter. In this beginning of the chapter, we have discussed that there are the 5 states of the matter: solid, liquid, and gases, and plasma, and the Bose-Einstein condensate. There is a just little bit information about this. What is plasma? That is the plasma that is super energetic and super excited particles. Super energetic and super excited particles, they form the plasma. These particles of the gases, just a minute. These, we say that as in the sun is a huge ball of the glowing gases. Sun is a huge ball of the glowing gases, and these gases are ionized with the heat. The fluorescent tube, the neon sign bulb, consists of the plasma. Inside a neon sign bulb there is neon gas, the bulb in which there is a neon gas, and when we do the switch on, when switch is on, electricity will pass through these gases, and these gases particles, they will get ionized, and they will try to move here and there, and they will strike with each other, and this charging up of create a plasma glowing inside the bulb. And the plasma, because of this, they strike with each other, they will lead to the spark, and this will lead to the glowingness of the bulb or the tube. And the sun and the stars glow because of the presence of plasma in them. and this is very very high because of the super energetic and super ionized particles, super excited particles. These are the cause of the plasma particles. Okay, these are the this is all about the plasma. Now the next is the last stage, that is the Bose-Einstein condensate. Here it is in the plasma, we have said that it is super energetic and super excited. Then super energetic, super high temperature, high very very high temperature. And the Bose-Einstein condensate, it is opposite of that. It means the BEC is formed by extremely low density and super cool temperature. Low density and super cool temperature. This is just the information, you need not to go through all these, but you should know about all this. Okay, what is the plasma, what are the super energetic particles, and what did they form. Okay, the plasma that will be formed, that is the super energetic and super excited particles, and Bose-Einstein condensate is the super low temperature and super low pressure, that forms the Bose-Einstein condensation. This is all about this chapter. Okay.